morning dear students, welcome to biology class. Today's session we are going to see about chapter 7, diversity in living organism. The word diversity means variety. So in this lesson you are going to see about variety of life forms exist on the planet Earth. Yes, our planet Earth consists of many variety of living organisms, starting from small minute microorganism like bacteria to huge blue whale, variety of plants, variety of insects, variety of living organisms we can see around us. Here on the screen you can see many animals, insects, plants which are very familiar to us. If I ask question what life form exists in water means, immediately you will tell fish, of course, because we are aware about only fish or some organisms in the water. But there are many aquatic animals, aquatic plants survive in the water, but we are not aware about it. Actually, we see a very small portion of living organism around us. Approximately they are telling 10 millions of living organisms are present on the planet Earth. But we know only 2 million of living organisms on the planet Earth. Bewildering variety of living organisms evolved on the Earth over million of years ago. The variety of life forms vary from their shape, size, lifespan and color. Yes, you can see the minute organism bacteria size is few micrometer, but the huge blue whale and the pine wood tree, their size is approximately 30 meter to 100 meter. Even if you see the lifespan, mosquito lifespan is few days, but pine tree can survive for 1000 years. Then you can also see many colorful birds and flowers on the planet Earth. On another side, you can see the colorless transparent worms. So, I am trying to tell there are variety of living organisms. They are living in different shapes, size, life form, color, but they are grouped under a living organism. Now you got an idea. Yes, in this lesson you are going to focus on variety of life form. Now the task is going to be difficult because as I said before, there are 2 millions of living organism what we know. That living organism we are going to learn. But that is very complex. So this lesson we are going to focus about to learn about all the living organism in easy way by categorizing the living organism into a group. So let us see how we are categorizing the various life form and how we are able to understand all the living organism present on the earth. Today's topic we are going to cover about first what is biodiversity, second basic for classification, third why we need classification, and fourth classification and evolution. So these are the topics we are going to discuss in our today's session. So what is biodiversity? In biology, you should observe the name. Name itself tell lot of us. The name suggests. Bio means life form. Diversity means variety. So biodiversity means variety of life forms on the earth at a particular place. Yes, if at the particular place, if variety of animals or plants living means, that is called as biodiversity. So biodiversity means variety of living organism at a particular place. Each and every organism very important and they are doing a crucial role to balance the ecology. Yes, ecology balance is done by the living organism. Each organism is depend on another organism. For example, green plant can prepare their own food. This green plant is taken by herbivorous animals like deer, rabbit, etc. This herbivore animals is eaten by carnivore animals like lion, tiger, so on. So, if any particular animal is extinct or destroyed means another animal which is depend on that animal also gets extinct. So, total balance of the ecology is get disturbed. So, each and every organism is very important to maintain the ecological balance on the earth planet. Then who is disturbing the ecological balance means most of the time we human being disturbing the ecological balance by creating more pollution and destroying the nature. Because of that it forms global warming, greenhouse effect and so many issues are formed on the earth. The word biodiversity was coined by Walter G. Rosen in the year 1986. So the word biodiversity means variety of living organism present in a particular region. Where you can see this biodiversity. Yes, on the earth, particular place we call it as mega biodiversity, where you can see more number of variety of living organism present in the particular place. Such place is called as mega biodiversity. There are some region which is warm, humid and support more number of living organism present in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. You might have know about this word in social studies. Yes, Tropic of Cancer lies in northern latitude on the earth where the sun appears directly on it. Same like that, Tropic of Capricorn present in the southern latitude on the earth where in that place also the sun appears directly on it. Because of getting the sunlight, that particular area is very rich in variety of living organism. So that particular place is considered as mega biodiversity. Of mega biodiversity means warm and humid tropical regions of the earth consists of 12 mega biodiversity countries. Yes, there are 12 mega biodiversity countries which are present in warm and humid tropical region between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Let us see what are the 12 countries. The biodiversity countries are Australia, Brazil, Colombia, China, Ecuador, Indonesia, India, Peru, Zaire, Malaysia, Mexico, Madagascar. So these are the 12 mega biodiversity countries. So how to memorize this 12 mega biodiversity countries? We can take the first letter of all the countries' name and you can frame according to your memory. Okay. So you can frame as a word, like here I made pizza, BC, me. So like that if you frame means it will be easy for you to memorize. So second letter I given square, here in first letter cube. So square means 2 times the country names will present here. Okay. Now if you know this first letter word, automatically you can able to remember the country's name. For example, pizza means Peru, Indonesia, India, Zaire, Australia, BC square, Brazil, Colombia, China, M cube E, M cube means Malaysia, Mexico, Madagascar, E, Ecuador. So like this, as your wish, you can also frame some keywords by using the first letter and you can easily memorize all the 12 names. So you will not commit any error in your exam. Recap for biodiversity. Biodiversity. Biodiversity is a variety of animals and plants found on this planet at a particular location. Biodiversity of the species is not evenly distributed. For example, tropical regions support more life than the polar region. Polar regions are affected with adverse weather conditions. Plants, animals and climate work together to maintain the balance of nature. Pyramid of nature balance. Producer, herbivore, carnivores and top carnivores. They are interlinked with each other. If we disturb this, it leads to ecological imbalance. For example, if you see the snake, snakes are not a welcome presence in our life. Immediately what we will do? Yes, we fear them and we move from that place, or we'll throw the stone and try to get rid of them. The favorite food of snakes, we can tell, rat. If we kill all the snake, then what problem we will face means the rat population increase like anything, and that creates the ecological imbalance. So biodiversity helps in maintaining the balance in the nature. You know about what is biodiversity and mega biodiversity. Next we are going to see about classification of living organism. This classification of living organism is done by grouping the organism in certain characteristic. So you have to know what is characteristic. Characteristic means features or quality belongs to a particular organism is called as characteristic. For example, if I tell bird, immediately what characteristic you will tell? Flying. If I tell human being, walking, running, jumping, like that characteristic comes in your eyes. So same like that, fishes means swimming. Human, that you can bring some characteristic of particular organism. Based on this characteristic, the organisms are grouped, and that is called as classification. For the characteristic, one simple example I can able to tell you. In the school, we are dividing the students according to the class. If we are not dividing according to their class, we are telling the student according to the height order, go and sit. All the tall ones are sitting in one class, all the short ones are sitting in another class. The teacher able to go and take the class to the student? No, it's not possible. If teacher enter into the short classroom, what will happen? There are different age students are sitting with different IQ level. So what will happen? The teachers is not able to go and teach each and every student. But if the students are divided according to the age wise to the particular class section, means the teacher can able to teach the class to all the student. So like that only, the characteristic is the features which present for the particular group of organism. So that particular group of organisms are going to classify into one group, and another characteristic containing living organism will keep in another group. Now you can understand. So what is classification means? Mostly the classification is done based on the similarity and difference characteristics present in the living organism. Classification of living organism. The system of grouping of living forms on the basis of their similarity and difference in their characteristics. You all know characteristic is the features or quality that present in the living organism. Based on the characteristics, they will group the living forms or living organism. How they will group? Based on their similarities and difference in their features. Okay. So this is called as classification. Now the branch of biology which concerned with the classification is called as taxonomy. Yes, the study of classification is called as taxonomy. So what is the base for the study of taxonomy means? What are the things we'll see in it means? Identification, nomenclature and classification. Identification, yes, of course we are doing classification to identify a particular organism. So, identification. Nomenclature means naming the organism. You are going to give scientific name for all the organism to avoid confusion. So, we will see this in later session. Okay. So, now you should know nomenclature means naming the organism, and classification, grouping of organism. So, all these three things you will learn under the biological science called taxonomy. So, now taxonomy is also called as biological science, which deals with identification, nomenclature and classification of organism following certain rules. Yes, there are certain rules to allot doing the classification or giving the name. We will see all the rules in our class ahead. Why do we need classification? Is it not possible to know all the organisms because they are too many? I mean, to study all the organisms, it's complex, right? For example, let us assume you are going to shift your things to the new house. Okay, new house consists of different rooms, hall or living room, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, like that different rooms are there. You brought the things from your old house. Now what you will do? You will arrange the things according to the room. Can you imagine if you keep all the things in the hall itself? What will happen if your friend is coming and asking you to take a physics book or science book? Okay, what you will do? You will go and search in the hall, and you will search for a long time, but you are not able to find out that particular things from that place. Why? Means you club together all the things in the particular place itself. If you segregate the things according to the room, what will happen? It is easy for you to go and take the things and give it to your friend. So, if you classify this group of animals, it will be easy to understand about the animals, and you can able to identify the animals. Here we are going to see about why do we need classification or importance of classification. So, first point is it makes to study wide variety of living organism easily. Yes, already I said importance of classification itself, you are going to make into a group to study the organism easily. So, without classification, it is very complex to know about all the organisms. So, which is going to make easy, na? Classification is going to make easy to know about all living organisms. So, first, it's going to make easy to know about all living organisms, and in a systematic manner. Yes, you are going to learn about the all living organism in a systematic manner. How we are going to learn that in systematic manner, we will see in later. Okay. Then it helps to understand the relationship between two groups of organism. Yes, you will classify the organism. This classification helps to know the difference between the each group of organism. For example, if you are doing group, because of grouping, you will have fungi organism in one group, algae organism in one group. You can compare and know about the difference between two groups. Fungi not able to prepare their own food, but algae can prepare their own food. Like that, many characteristics present between two groups you can analyze, and you can able to understand the relationship or difference between the group of organism. Then it also helps to understand how the different organisms have evolved with time. What is evolution? In this section itself we will see in later. Evolution means producing the new organism on the earth. So, how the organism evolved on the earth with time, that also you can understand by classification. The last one is scientific name. I told you before itself, each organisms have scientific name to avoid confusion or to use the name universally by all the human being. Okay. So, scientific name of organism also based on the classification. So scientific name for organisms also done based on the classification. So these are the important points of classification. Again I am repeating. First, to understand and to know the systematic manner of all the living organism, we need classification. Second, to compare and know the relationship between the group of organism, we need classification. Third, how the organism evolved on the earth. To understand the evolution of the organism, we need classification. The last one, giving scientific name of for organism, also we need classification. So these are the reason we need classification to group the organism. Process of classification. Great Greek thinker Aristotle classified the organism based on their habitat, whether the organism living on land or in air or in water. Based on their habitat, he simply classified the organism, but it leads to misleading too. So, this kind of classification creates some confusion. For example, if you take water habitat, you can see many kinds of organisms like fish, octopus, jellyfish, etc. They are not having a same characteristic. Each organisms are differ from each other. So, we are not able to classify the organism based on their habitat. Different types of classification of animals are given with different view. The great thinker called as Aristotle had classified the animal based on the habitat. For example, animal living in sea includes coral, whales, octopus, starfish and shark, but they have different characteristics. So Aristotle classification is not accepted. So later we are able to classify the organism by the understanding the body design and the function of the organism. Let us discuss about how the characteristic need for classification and what are the characteristics used for the classification. So, we are going to see about the characteristic which is needed for the classification. What is characteristic? The feature or quality that present in the organism is considered as characteristic. Characteristics needed for classification. So you know what is characteristic. Characteristics means the special features that present in an organism. So based on the characteristics, we are doing the classification. So what are the characteristics we are going to see? Means first, complexity of cell structure. Second, body structure. Third, mode of nutrition. And fourth, level of organization of body. So these are the four characteristics. We'll see each in detail. So based on the characteristic, first we are going to see about complexity of the cell structure. The cells are broadly classified based on the nucleus presence and absence. Yes, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic organisms. You know prokaryotic, pro means false. Karyotic means nucleus, that means not well developed nucleus. These prokaryotic organisms are seen in some lower organisms like bacteria. Eukaryotic organism, Eu means true, karyotic means nucleus, that means well developed nucleus. Eukaryotic organisms have well developed cell. That well-developed cell containing organisms are called as eukaryotic organism. Eukaryotic organism consists of plant and animal. So, this is the first characteristics needed for classification. Second characteristic is body structure. Based on the body structure, that means based on the cell, the organism again we can classify it as unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Unicellular organism is made up of single cell. The whole organism is made up of single cell. For example, bacteria, some algae and fungi. Then multicellular organism, their body structure is made up of then a number of cells present in an organism is called as multicellular organism. Example for multicellular organism is we human being, bird, or many organism comes under multicellular. The third characteristic is mode of nutrition. Based on the nutrition, again the organisms are classified into two. One is autotrophic nutrition and another one is heterotrophic nutrition. As you all know, autotrophic nutrition means they can prepare their own food, right? Example, green plant. Heterotrophic nutrition means the organism depends on another organism for food is called as heterotrophic organism. Example for heterotrophic organism is lion, tiger, deer, etc. So these are the two different categories based on their nutrition. Fourth characteristic is level of organization of organism. So in level of organization, the body level, how they are organized. Cellular organism. Multicellular organism, they have complex organism which made up of cell, tissue, organ system. Like that, different works are shared by the different parts of their body. So, multicellular organism is complex and they have division of labor to do their function. So, example for multicellular is human being, plants and animals. So, in level of organization, the body level, how they are organized. If you compare plants and animals, plants are made up of different types of tissue and animals are made up of different kinds of tissue. Why? Plants are immobile. They can't able to move from one place to another place. Animals are doing various activity. They are moving from one place to another place. They need more energy and all the activities taking place in their body is completely differ from the plant. So in this level of organization, also classification made. So the characteristic which is important for classification is first their body structure, second you are seeing the cells arrangement, third how the complexity of the organism is present, and the fourth one is level of organization. So these are the things very important for the classification. Next we are going to see about classification, how is related with evolution. What is evolution? Over the course of time, the organism have some changes in their body. Based on the changes, it accumulate on their body design and it causes some changes in the organism. It leads to the better survival of organism on the earth. So, evolution is very important for the organism for their survival. This concept was explained by Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin in 1859 in his book Origin of Species. Based on that book, the Charles Darwin explaining that the changes that accumulate in the body of organism makes the organism to survive better in the environment. So, changes in the organism leads to the new organism evolve on the earth. So, this evolution and classification have close relation. How means? The classification is done based on the similarity. So, based on the similarity, we are grouping the organism. If you group the related organism, this organism resemble each other, which means they are evolved from the common ancestor. For example, if you compare the human being with chimpanzee or some in the monkey group variety means you can see the similarities. So they have some common ancestors. Evolution, again the organisms are classified into two. One is primitive organism and another one is advanced organism. Primitive organism are the one that have a ancient or body design. Their bodies doesn't have any changes with the time. They are called as lower organism. Advanced organism. Advanced organisms are those we have recently occurred. The body changes, and they are also called as higher organism. These advanced organisms are formed from the lower organism. Lower organism, otherwise called as primitive organism. Primitive means ancient time formed organism. These primitive organisms, their body haven't go for any changes. So, if without any changes, they are surviving still now. But the changes happen their body leads to the formation of next organism on the earth, which is complex when you compare with the primitive organism. For example, planaria is a simple organism, simple multicellular organism present in the water. This planaria undergoes so many changes after a million of years and it turns to fish. Like that evolution they are telling. Okay. Then later the fish developed into many form and you are getting a reptiles. Reptiles means which lives on land and water. And from the reptiles the land animals are formed. From the land animals development human beings are formed. So the complex and the advanced organism now is human being. So you can understand how from the primitive organism to advanced organisms are formed. So all the organisms have some interlink. So evolution and classifications, they have interlink by their common characteristics. So primitive organisms are simple, but the young and advanced organisms are complex. By this evolution you can understand the advanced organisms have complex body structure. Let's see the recap for evolution. Evolution, gradual process of developing body design from simple to complex, which helps the organism to survive better than the earlier one. Charles Darwin, 1859, he described about evolution in his book called The Origin of Species. Hence, as per evolution, gradual process change of complexity organism based on the change of the complexity classification takes place. The ancient body design organisms are said to be as older organism as also called as primitive or lower organism. As change of body design continues from ancient group to present, we are call it as younger organism or also advanced or higher organism. In this session you have learnt about variety of life form, in that what is biodiversity, what is mega biodiversity, classification of living organism, under that why do we need classification, characteristics of classification, and the last classification and evolution. So these are the things you have learnt in today's session. Hope you all understand today's session. Thank you for watching this video.